All right, guys, we are live, episode 48 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thanks for joining us. Here with my lovely co-host, as always. Now, Kelly's been with us for back-to-back shows. Kelly Sampson's in the house. How you doing, Kelly?
Good. I am in the presence of greatness.
There you go. We got Team Springfield in the house. Dustin Pluth just got his set up again. It looks weird without all the banners in the background, but he's just kept back from the moves. How's it going, Dustin?
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I know I'll have to change that. Luckily, I know a great Animal Customs banner company that can make me those, so
Yeah,
I still got boxes everywhere.
They need to make you some new ones ASAP, man. It just looks weird. It's not, but you still got the nice NASCAR jersey going for you, so we'll get into that in a little bit. And we got U.S. Air Force, and the show just don't run right without Schwell in the house, and that's Schwell 11 is joining us. Schwell, what's going on?
And not much, man. Just happy to be here. Another great show, another great guest.
Yeah, I could agree. And the guest, I mean, really, and I mean, one of the all around, shooters in general, multiple world records, world and national titles, and that's Jerry Miculek. How's it going, Jerry?
Going really good, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing really good. We're glad you can join us and take some time out of your day for this. We got, we had a real IT issue in the pre-chat, but we got everything running here, and hopefully everything will run pretty smooth throughout. I wanted to mention the Q&A section of the show for you guys who are unfamiliar with the show. There's a small Q&A section in the bottom left-hand corner of your show. If you click on that, you can ask any of us here on the panel any questions, and we'll scan those and we'll ask those. Any tips and tricks you want to know, and this is your chance to ask Jerry live. Show sponsors today, as usual, Blade Tech Industries. Thanks for the support from those guys. Go check them out. We got Fort Mill Munitions, and we got DK Custom Triggers. So they make some fine Glock triggers. I believe he's working on some M&P triggers now. Just all around great triggers. I run them and they work extremely well. So DK Custom Triggers. So Jerry, man, tell us more about, for those who aren't, familiar with you. I mean, I don't know if you're into guns and you don't know who Jerry is. I told, my fiance, I'm like, who I'm gonna have next week? And she's like, I'm like, Jerry Miculek. She's like, who's that? I'm like, dude, come on, everybody knows Jerry. That's like, it's like not knowing who Michael Jordan is or like Muhammad Ali. Everybody knows who Jerry is, even if you don't like to shoot. So Jerry, tell us a little bit about yourself. How's the weather going over there? Just briefly, some of your accomplishments. I know there's a Bible on some of your accomplishments that you've done on shooting. So just tell us a little bit more about yourself for those who are unfamiliar.
Well, I've been shooting professionally now for Smith & Wesson since 1989. So I've been a team member that long. I hold 5 world records in revolver shooting, a bunch of national records, some world titles, 3-gun championships, won the American handgun at 3 times shooting a revolver against the pistol guys. That's probably one of my greatest accomplishments. Shot Bianchi. I've done just about everything there is in shooting, or the action shooting games. And right now the 3-gun stuff is really hot and heavy, so I've gotten back into 3-gun really hard. And I've been shooting 3-gun since the mid-'80s, when Soldier Fortune was the actual only 3-gun competition there was. They had their annual convention in Las Vegas, and they hosted a 3-gun championship. And back in the day, in the 80s, it was a $10,000 first prize. So it was pretty exciting to compete there. It was a different structure before, as a competition is concerned, but it was a fun match nonetheless. And one of my greatest accomplishments there was to have taken second place shooting a Model 28 Smith & Wesson revolver back in the day. So that was a hard accomplishment in itself, shooting a revolver against a pistol out there in the desert. So that was fun. That was a fun deal. I've done just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And now you're really getting into the video world, and getting into the whole YouTube scene, doing some fast speed, pulling the trigger as fast as you can on, a lot of people have seen the Barrett 50 cal, and you do that with multiple weapons that are sent in your way. I mean, it's a really, I've been doing me and Sherelle have been doing YouTube for a long time, and to have the high-speed cameras and all that technology and equipment to aid you in the video, I mean it's going really well, and it's really exciting to watch those videos. And you guys who aren't subscribed, it's if you put in Miculek.com into the YouTube search, or if you just put in Jerry's first and last name, the channel is going to pop right up. So you guys can go ahead and subscribe and check out some of those older videos and some of the videos obviously that are going to keep pouring in. He did there was most recent video was that I've seen was the one that you were looking at, one of the first, pretty much the godfather of the AR-15 platform. And you were down there in Titusville, Florida. You want to talk to us a little bit about that? That was a fully automatic, it was a lot of history behind that weapon. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was in Titusville at the Institute of Military Technology. Reed Knight, who was the owner of the Knight's Armament, of course, the SR-25 comes to mind. He's a DOD vendor, I guess you could say. He supplies the military with a vast array of different sighting equipments and small arms. But he also has this amazing gun collection, which is absolutely stunning. I'm kind of a gun nut, and I've been associated with firearms all my life. I've read just about every gun magazine. But when I had a chance to go through his facility and look at the stuff he had on the wall, it was in such detail and such one-of-a-kind pieces there that it was just hard to comprehend it. You would actually have to have at least a month in there to actually appreciate just everything he has there. He has the Eugene Stoner prototype ARs. He has all the Colt prototype ARs, the AR-10 that you're talking about. He has, I think, 80 of the 100 that was ever imported into the United States. It's a super rare gun. It was made back in the 50s. That's a Stoner design, of course. And it's a beautifully made semi-automatic, fully automatic platform. He's got 80 of them. So we would go in these little nooks and crannies in the back of his place. And every time you turn around, there'd be something in the corner that you never saw before. It was just racks and racks of hardware, and not just junk stuff. It was just, he has one of the largest Gatling gun collections in the world. I had a friend of mine back in Thibodaux, Louisiana, a plantation owner. He had an 83 Colt on original carriage, which is a 45-70 Gatling gun. And back in the day, back in the 80s, when we'd have a 4th of July celebration, or you had guests over, you would fire his Gatling gun, and we were the maintenance crew, so we'd come in, help him clean up, sort the brass, take the Gatling gun apart, service it, and put it all back together. So I've been around 83 Colts. I think he has 5 of them on original carriages there. Give you an idea of his collection.
Huh.
So it's just amazing. Everything he has there is top of the line, one of a kind. All the Pedersen devices, the Pedersen prototypes for the U.S. military. He had the original Thompson prototype for the Thompson submachine gun, which is super rare, to say the least. Just on and on. You just think of if you think of a small arms that was ever manufactured, he's got the prototype stuck in the floor.
You gotta
pretty amazing.
That's a great friend to have.
It is. You got to watch that video because the place that they're in, I mean, there's hardware everywhere. It's like you just want to pull up like an air mattress and just stay there forever and never leave, because it's just so much, hardware on, everywhere, just guns everywhere. So it's interesting video. Go check that out. Dustin, what do you have on your end? I know you got you're back, and it's glad to have you back, and you have a couple live questions on the Facebook. So what do you have for Jerry?
Yeah, it's definitely good to be back. And Jerry, I'm finally getting a little taste of that. Actually, I work at an indoor range now as an instructor, and we got full auto rentals. And the owner, he's a huge machine gun nut. So every morning he's like, "Hey, have you ever shot a HK-21E?" You're like, "No." "Okay, let's go." "All right, have you shot a 1919? Have you shot a this? Have you shot a that?" And so my answer is no, but let's go. Let's do this. Give me a mag. Let's shoot. But
make it happen.
So I got a few questions rolling in on the Facebooks here. Trevor writes in, what is Jerry's thoughts on the Apex trigger kits for the M&P pistol line?
Well, just about anything Randy Lee does is quality stuff. I had a chance to shoot some of his triggers before. I personally prefer the stock one because I'm too cheap to put the money out for for an actual upgrade. But everything Randy Lee does is top of the line. I've known Randy for a number of years. He makes quality stuff. So if you buy something from Randy, it's going to be good. I've shot guns with his triggers. What most consumers are looking for when they buy his product, they actually want to feel a reset on the trigger return, and that's one of the features he has, and a lot of guys really like that. So it's something that he offers for the M&P line.
Yeah, for sure. The M&P Pro, a buddy of mine has it, and we shoot it all the time here. I mean, that out of the box is a great trigger. I mean, I always tell him, when are you gonna buy the Apex kit? When are you gonna buy the Apex kit? And he's like, no, I just like it right out of the box. And I shoot it, and I have a high fly, flashy, light trigger. But every time I pick up his M&P Pro, smooth shooting. The trigger is really nice out of the box. So, tons of options for those pistols. I have one here. Gary will be using in the 2004. I guess they want to know, what are you using at the Bug?
You're breaking up on me. You have to come back with that question.
Going to be using at the Bug Gun Nationals, IDPA.
Okay. Last year at the Bug Gun Nationals, I shot a 3-inch 686 plus, which is a 7-shot L-frame with adjustable sights, and I don't know what the rule changes are for this year. I'm not current on that yet right now. If they changed any of the rules, but if they haven't changed the rules, I'm going to use that same revolver.
So you're still going to use the same revolver? That's sweet deal.
Yeah, I know they were talking about not having a full-length frame, because the guys, like, I was going to shoot the XDM 3.8 with the full mag in there. So I don't know. Can always get my new 3.3 XDS. So I expect you to use a shield or maybe even a bodyguard. How about that?
Yeah,
make it fair for us, okay?
I'd have to see what revolver would fit that package. Probably shoot a revolver.
Yeah, it's because people like Dustin are trying to game the Bug Nationals with putting full size mags in a bug gun. They have to revive, trying to get an edge. Nothing.
An edge, yep.
It's all about running that razor's edge there.
There you go. Schwell, man, what do you have for Jerry, man?
I have a question from YouTube. This one is from user Renshin1. Would you please describe what you feel are the most important elements of controlling recoil and muzzle rise when rapidly firing a pistol?
Well, a lot of people associate muzzle control with how hard you actually grip the handgun, and it's not that. It's how you lock your wrist. It's nothing. You have to hold the gun tight, but also you have to learn how to lock your wrist. If you watch all the true high-speed shooters, you notice that when the firearm recoils, it's going to recoil straight up and down and not the end of the muzzle. And it makes a huge difference, that dispersion on the end of the muzzle. If you get a little bit of wiggle on the end, that shot dispersion at 20 yards is going to be the height of the target. So you have to really learn to lock your wrist as much as you do hold it. That's a set of muscles that you're going to only use for that purpose, and you have to learn how to differentiate. That's a hard question.
There you have it. It's pretty simple there. So get to dry fire and practice in that. We have a question that kind of goes hand in hand that came in from Nick O. His question was, Jerry seems able to keep up with anyone. Does Jerry do any physical training? And what exercise? If you do, what exercises and how often? So my question next was, the improving ability. What are your thoughts on those questions, Jerry?
I lost you on that last part of your question. Can you come back on that again? It's breaking up.
The importance of dry fire and physical fitness to improve your shooting ability.
Well, dry fire.
Is he getting that? Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe Dustin, if you
yeah.
Go for it.
What do you think about dry firing and training, Jerry? Or do you do any?
Oh yeah, dry fire is probably one of the most key elements to be competitive. You have to be able to repeat a performance. What you get a lot of club guys, they'll have a really good experience, but then they can't bring it back. So to be a professional, you have to be able to recall your experience. And dry fire is about the only venue there to make that happen on demand. So to be a performer, you have to be able to perform on demand. So dry fire is it's extremely important, but it can also be extremely boring. So to keep it exciting, you have to change your routine just a small bit, and it'll keep the interest going. So
what's your spicy dry firing drill then? How do you spice it up? Or what's the best dry fire drill?
Yeah, that's a very broad question. If I'm going to a 3-gun competition, it's going to vary very, very much on what I'm going to actually try to get out of that experience. So it could be anything from breaking the first shot, mounting a long gun, or doing a reload on a shotgun. So what I try to do is visualize what I'm weak at and try to practice that instead of what I enjoy doing, which everybody likes to practice is what they enjoy doing. But, you got to go for what you're not good at, and then try to tidy that up.
And how do you feel about like?
Not good at?
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. There's a good one.
It's just hard to conceive that, like, you say, oh, I have something I'm not good at, so when I go to practice, that's what you're going to work on. So what is Jerry Miculek not, good at, he thinks?
Hang on.
What am I not good at?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot.
Master this. Okay.
As a competitor, you can really say there's not many times that you go to a competition and you're really satisfied with what you accomplished. Even if you won the championship, you usually come back with a feeling of a loss. You've had moments where you were not in control, and those are the moments that you try to correct when you dry fire or practice. So always room for improvement.
So how do you feel about like actual physical training, more athletic style, running, working out, anything like that? Do you think that helps tremendously, or just a little bit in the competition world?
It's becoming more and more important, especially in the 3-gun competitions. As I get older and I look at people like Daniel Horner, he could probably pick me up and run faster with me on his back than I can run. So I'm very envious of his physical conditioning, and it shows in the match how well suited he is for the application. So as the competition as the competitors get younger, stay on that edge a little bit and figure out how you're going to fit in. So physical training does play a part.
Yeah, there you have it. We're gonna get into the giveaway here. Almost, Schwell hit me with the reminder here, and I'm kind of having some poor connection here, but hopefully it hangs in there. We have for the giveaway today, we have a Vortex Fire optic. Kind folks over at Vortex. Jerry's using their optics on his rifles, so they're quality stuff. Also have two the Miculek rifle compensators going out. Also, we have Jerry's practical rifle DVDs. We have 2 of those. And TacticalLife.net is throwing in a T-shirt and a set of Sure Grips for your pistol. So go check out TacticalLife.net. To enter this giveaway, there's going to be a link in the comment section. You can get bonus entries for liking Miculek.com on Facebook, subscribing to their YouTube channel, and liking some of the companies to the show and this giveaway. Also, you can shoot over to the Shooter's Mind Facebook page, where you also can find a link to the giveaway there. So get your entries in, because it ends at 11. That's Eastern Standard Time, so 11 o'clock tonight. Winners, and we got some great products as usual. So thanks to the company supporting the show. Schwell, what do you have on your end, man? Any Facebook questions or anything you have personally?
Well, I have tons of YouTube questions, and I'm going to keep running through those. And this question, I had this question. This is personal as well as on YouTube. Isaac Kaufman asked, Jerry, do you plan on breaking any more shooting records? And I'll piggyback off of that question. Is that something that you think about before you hit these competitions? Do you think about the records? Is that extremely important to you?
Well, I've got a couple of records I want to do next year. As a matter of fact, some speed shooting records. By the way, all of my records were actually officiated through the NRA, and what that means is there was an NRA official there, and he was the person that looked at all my timers. I ran more than one timer every time I did an event for a record, and I was certified that what we saw on the timer was correct and how many rounds I fired. Well, anyway, what I want to do, Smith & Wesson came out with that new 929 revolver, that 9mm 8-shot in frame. I want to do an official 8 rounds on target with a reload, another 8 rounds in about 5.5 seconds. So that's something. I did a stunt like that with the History Channel some years back with a 625, and I put 12 rounds on target in about 5.6 seconds or something at 10 yards, blindfolded from the surrender position. So I want to make it official and bring that new revolver into the mainstream and actually do a record with it. So then I was also wanting to do, while we're on the subject, is a 10 shots with 9 reloads in a certain amount of time. I haven't figured out exactly what that time is going to be yet. But, something to highlight how fast the gun actually can be reloaded. And also a Mossberg.
I'm sure the boys on.
You were going into the.
Yeah, the Mossberg official rapid fire with that 12 gauge and try to set a new official record. There are several records on the internet for rapid fire or semi-automatic shotgun, but none of them have been actually officiated through the NRA. So I want to be the first to actually get one out there that's going to be on the books. So to highlight the 930.
Yeah, we're definitely that, and we talked a little bit about it just now. But the 986 Pro Series revolver, we were at SHOT Show 2014 at the media day, and I got a chance to fire it. I was a little bit disappointed because it won't fit in the IDPA box. But as for the trigger right out of the box, I mean, it was smooth. I mean, it probably one of the smoothest revolvers I've shot. I haven't shot a ton of revolver, but that one definitely stuck out. Your thoughts on the new 986?
The 986 is their L frame, I believe. It's that 7-shot revolver. Is that the one with titanium cylinder?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So that's a performance center gun. So what's different about those guns than a standard production gun? All the parts, all the trigger parts are prepped, and then they're chrome plated. So you have a smooth package right out of the box, and being that's a 9mm with that titanium cylinder, there's less cylinder weight to actually get into motion when you pull the trigger. So it makes the trigger seem to be a little bit lighter just because of the titanium cylinder. So, and they've done really their homework on that, and I've been on them for 15 years to make a 9mm revolver. They finally got around to doing it. I'm pretty excited about it. They actually made it exactly pretty much. That's a statement. Exactly, pretty much. Anytime you deal with a company and you give them ideas, they're going to take what they want, and maybe now and then they'll use a little bit of what you want, and you hopefully come together in a good package. And they actually did it. And the way they made the performance center guns with the broach cut rifling and the 3.55 diameter bore, everything is made so the gun will actually shoot really good. And they did a good action job on it. It's a pretty exciting package altogether, so they did it right.
Yeah, I definitely had a, they let me get a few extra, shots in with that revolver. We did a video on it. I still haven't released it, but definitely a revolver to check out, man. It kind of groundbreaking on that design. The trigger is amazing. So, and we got a question here from a good friend of mine, Ken Fusco.
Okay.
He said, Jerry was great to watch.
Lost you again.
Yeah, we keep losing Anthony whenever he's asking those questions.
Let's see. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
All right. Ken wants to know. He said he had in person at Area 6 multi-gun. Will you be back next year? And they also want you to tell me to go.
Well, the Area 6 was a good match. I was really surprised at the stages of fire for the limited range of fire. Were good enough to keep your interest up, even though it was very hot on the ranges, and it was just a good experience all around. I had a good prize table. I'm going to try to make it again next year, of course.
It was dreadful hot. Miserable.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's like the first thing we asked Kelly. It's like, how was Area 6? She's like, dude, it was so hot. That's the first thing that that came out there. Also, another question from Ken. Hopefully, I can hang in here. Jerry, why did you miss Revolver Nationals this year?
I didn't shoot any handgun events this year. Just kind of taking it easy on my hand this year. Last few years, I've hit it extremely hard. I shot 27 matches last year, and I was fortunate enough to have like 21 first place wins, and I've been doing that for the last 20-something years. And this year it was just like, I got to set back a little bit, kind of let the hand get some feeling back into it. And I'm also looking at what am I going to do in the future. It's like anything in life. If you hit it too hard, you burn out. You can burn out your body. Runners burn their knees out. They burn their ankles out. I just needed to set back a little bit, let my hands take a rest, and kind of just reevaluate who I am, where am I going to go next year, and what I'm going to try to do. So focusing on 3-gun a lot because it's a lot easier on my body right now, and see how it goes. I've been out shooting some steel challenge the last couple of days, so get back in the groove. See how that leads for next year.
Well, you had to let Robbie, take all the titles, so you had to let him, get one win under his belt with the Revolver.
Everybody's breaking up again.
And Robbie did win the Revolver Nationals as well. Yeah.
He did. So Jerry let him, take all the titles home now. That was the one he was missing, was the Revolver. So you can just play off of that. I'm sure it'll be a different story on his book, but.
Yeah, very nice. What do we have here? Jerry, you accomplished a lot in your shooting career. National titles, world records, TV shows. You've been on just about every one. Is there something you haven't accomplished yet that you're looking forward to? And is there any possible reality TV show with the Miculek family? I would like to see that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I would like to do better at 3-Gun Nation. That's a very exciting venue. It's fast-paced. You got a lot of young guys in there that run really hard. There's a lot of fresh talent in that 3-gun circuit. People I've never seen before. Just like a couple of years ago, here they are, and they're top-level competitors. They're young, they're fast, got good eyes. I hate them all. But really, we're actually working on a TV series as we speak. So maybe in August we're going to actually film a few segments of a reality show and see how it runs.
Nice.
Kelly, what do you have?
Well, we were just talking about Rob Latham, and last week, if you guys watched, we had Kyle Lamb, who is a defensive instructor, and he said that you and Robbie would be the best students because he could just tell you to do everything that you do exactly, but stand behind a wall. So, do you think that those types of classes help or hinder competition shooters? I mean, we kind of talked about how, those defensive classes, they're standing in one spot, they're, all about accuracy. And then our 3-gun stuff, it is about accuracy, but we know that it can just be 2 on paper and we're good.
Well, there's a lot to be said for both of them. The reality of the moment is the circumstances should dictate how you react. If I'm in an actual confrontation, I'm not going to be standing out in the open trying to exchange gunfire with somebody. Competition shooters, it's hard to mix the two. But I would rather have a room full of Rob Lathams and Jerry Barnharts and Todd Jarrett's with me when times are bad. These guys know how to put the lead on target fast. Then even when they're wrong, they're very good. So I'd like to put my put myself in that kind of a position. Even what you got to realize, guys, that doesn't really matter what training that you have, as long as you're handling a firearm, you're actually trying to achieve a goal. The guys who shoot the most are going to always be the best at what they do. Even when they're stupid, they're going to be shooting good. So the mindset of a warrior is what? To use your mind to your advantage and don't stand out in the open. One of my big things IDPA is I can't do my reload till I get behind cover. If I have a firearm in my hand and I actually need to use it, why am I going to wait before I get behind cover to start a reload? So how is that training for a real moment? It's not. If I have no bullets, I should be running the other way. So it's just, it's reality is what you make it. How you react to a situation is going to be in your head long before you get there. You might not realize it. You're not going to achieve another level of performance under stress. You're always going to degrade, and how far you degrade is going to be very much dependent on how much training you have. Competition shooters can clear a jam and do a reload in their sleep, and that's a beautiful thing. If you need to do it in real time under real stress, they know how to do that. So is that right or wrong? Dropping a loaded magazine with ammunition in it, maybe that's the thing to do at that moment. Maybe it's not. So you have to have enough insight as a competitor and as a person, and to be able to try to evaluate a situation as it happens, and just use your knowledge the best you can at that moment. And that's just what reality is. Driving a car or racing a boat or flying a kite, it's all the same. You're going to react to your training. So you just got to keep it real.
So I think we just learned two things. Jerry's bug out zombie team consists of, and that Jerry next year is running for USPSA president, apparently.
There you have it. That was actually extremely well said, and you mentioned some great shooters. And I had a question here that I was curious about. What was the best piece of shooting advice you've ever gotten as a shooter, Jerry?
Trigger pull is more important than sight alignment.
There you have it. You know who said that to you?
My father-in-law, Jim Clark.
There you go. So there's that was, you figure Jerry gives a ton of advice out. I wanted to hear what was the best shooting advice you've ever gotten. We have here Chad Barber writing in another question. He said, my 929 arrived last week. What red dots setup would you recommend?
Well, there's a lot of small red dots on the market. Leopold has one. Vortex has their Razor red dot. Doctor has a red dot. So there's a lot of small stuff out there. The bigger ones it's just depending on what you're trying to do with it. So that's kind of a broad question. So.
Right, there you go, Chad. I mean, there is, the Vortex has one, right?
Yes, the Vortex Razor, yep.
Vortex, yeah, the Vortex Razor. You run those on your rifles, so there's probably a good option for you. And the Vortex are usually, if they're usually a lot more easier on the pocket, and you're getting excellent glass. So take it for what that's worth, Chad.
But, they also have a lifetime warranty.
So there you have it. So any problems, no questions asked, just send it back and they'll replace it or fix it. Is there any upcoming projects, events, or maybe any classes? I know Kay, I believe, is teaching a 3-gun class here. So is there any events you guys have coming up recently?
Well, Kay has a lot of ladies camps coming up. I have a military class coming up this month. Got a bunch of competitions. There's so many competitions that I don't really look at them. The NRA has a sponsored competition at the Peacemaker Range this year. It's going to be a 9-stage event, multi-stages. Pays 50 grand to the winner. I'm starting to train for that a little bit. It's going to be all-inclusive and a bunch of side matches. Anything from long range, 1,000-yard rifle, I think, or 500-yard rifle, down to 22 rifle at 50 yards, bullseye, trap and skeet, sporting clays. It's going to be an all-around shooter event, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
Yeah, can we? Is there you to see where you're holding those classes at, or is there a good way to find them?
On the ladies' camps, you can check their website, Babes with Bullets, and it has a schedule of events there and classes that are open. They book up pretty quick, so the ladies do an excellent job with that. So they book up pretty quick.
And speaking of ladies camps, I mean they got the Brownells Lady 3-gun match coming in, I believe October. What are your thoughts on that match and introducing a lot into the sport of 3?
Well, first off, I'd like to say they have a staggering amount of prizes there. I think it's a $250,000 or $300,000 prize table already. So the manufacturers are there, really extremely happy to help the ladies getting into the game. Kay is working with Lisa Marie on this event. So between the two of them, they come up with some really good stages of fire. And it's open to anybody, any female that has a 3-gun experiences. It's I'm sure everybody's going to come away with something from the prize table. So it's going to be well run.
Yeah, and that is in October, if I'm not.
Yes, I think it is. Yep.
So a part of the giveaway here is, which I'm going to announce here in a second for those just joining us, but you can, for a bonus entry, if you go ahead and like the Brownells Lady 3-gun Facebook page where you can find out more information on that match, you get a bonus entry giveaway. Go over that. The Vortex Strike Fire, that's going out to a lucky winner today. We also have Jerry Miculek Practical Rifle DVDs. We have 2 of those, so that's going to go out to a lucky winner as well. The Miculek Compensators, you have a 5.56 rifle but your standard bird cage on it. A great compensator that's going to help you there. And also we got Tactical Life doing they're doing a shirt and some sure grips, and they have multiple designs on tacticallife.net for you to choose from. So the winner will have the option to choose the design and your pistol, a rubberized texture you can put on your M&P shields or your bodyguards, the small guns to help that gun, to help that pistol stay in your hand. So the links to those giveaways are going to be posted. I think Schwell has already posted them, but they're in the comment section below this video. So just click on that link, and you can get there. Also, the Shooter's Mindset on Facebook. There will also be a link posted pinned to the top of the page where you can enter this giveaway. Giveaway ends at 11 Eastern tonight, and there will be 3 winners. So make sure you like all the Facebook page. Go check out Miculek.com on Facebook and YouTube. Those will get you bonus entries into this giveaway, and good luck to everybody playing. Schwell, I know you had tons of questions coming in. What do you have on your side?
This question comes from First Gen Rax on YouTube. He says, Jerry, which person, dead or alive, would you like to spend some range time with?
You have to come back. You broke up on that one.
From First Gen Rax on YouTube wants to know, is there anyone dead or alive that you would love to spend some range time with right now?
Spend some range time with? That's a big...
I know you probably shot with a lot of guys. Is there anybody in particular that sticks out? Maybe some type of celebrity? Anybody dead or alive?
Not Kelly. We know you want to shoot with Kelly. Everybody wants to shoot with Kelly, but anybody not Kelly.
There were so many good shooters. I guess one of the gentlemen. There's a gentleman who just passed here recently, Walter Walsh. I don't know if you knew of Walter Walsh. He was 105. I asked my father-in-law back when I first met him 20 years ago. I said, Jim, who's the best shooter you ever saw? You ever read about? And he without hesitation, he said Walter Walsh. And I'd personally never heard the name before. And then he gave me his background. He had basically all the NRA disciplines. He was basically a master. So Walter, recently he was the oldest kid in a World Olympics. I think he competed in 1968, and I had a chance to meet him some 15 years ago when he was in his 90s, and he was up and going, and he lived a full life, and it was quite the competitor. He was quite the man too. He was, matter of fact, when father-in-law was in when he was in the Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton, Walter Walsh was the BAR instructor. So that's how long ago that was. quite the guy, quite the competitor.
Excellent. Yeah. And it's sad to see, when anybody goes, but especially Walter there. I mean, tons of accomplishments like Jerry just pointed out. And it's too bad. I mean, it's crazy, when you ask Jerry, who would you shoot with? And, you picked that, and this recently just happened. He just passed recently. So that's sad to hear. But, Schwell, what do you have? I know you have a couple more. Let's hit those, because we got tons on my end as well.
I had a question asking from Brian Dozier on YouTube. What is the most important tip you could give to someone who decides to carry concealed? I know you've covered quite a bit of that on your YouTube channel, because I've watched a lot of those videos recently as well.
I guess the main point of carrying concealed is always trying to avoid trouble, avoid places where you shouldn't be. The responsibility of carrying concealed is so great that it should involve a lot of training, a lot of mental preparation, a lot of thought on how to use it properly, should it ever be. It's not just you. It's when you discharge a round, you're totally responsible for it. So you have to consider what's on the other side of the target. You have to consider everything. That's a big responsibility. Huge.
Yeah, I could agree there. And, practice with that weapon. There's, quite a few, competitors here, and they're always practicing with their competition gun, if you will. That 1911. Well, what do you carry? I carry a 380. Ruger LCP, just throwing a gun out there. But how many rounds do you have through it? They probably have hundreds of thousands of rounds with their competition gun, then their carry gun. I put a couple boxes of ammo. So definitely, yeah, there it is. You got a couple of guilty ones. I actually recently just took the new Glock 42 out to the range and put of plus P standard pressure ammo through it. It ran great. So I got, it was a recent pistol, so I'm definitely putting it through his paces here and testing it. Also, we had one here from James Mixon. He wants to know if there's an mistake you did in a match or any embarrassing stories that you have as far as a match goes.
I've lost you again on that question. Didn't come through.
Embarrassing match moments or anything you have, any stories that you have on a match that was pretty embarrassing.
Oh, well, I try to forget those as soon as they happen.
Yeah. So there anyone that sticks out that you want to share with us?
I've dropped a few guns. I had a 3-gun match in Las Vegas. It was the USPSA Nationals one year, and I shot so bad that I actually got in my car to leave the match, and I was driving toward the gate. I'd taken all my equipment off, and I realized if I passed through that gate, I would have had to accept defeat. And so I came back and I manned up, put all my equipment back on. Very next stage, had a low port with a shotgun. I was attacking the stage. I was doing pretty good. Pulled the shotgun out of the port and started to run. And they had some carpet on the ground there, so you wouldn't get the sand on it, whatever. Anyway, my feet got kind of hung up in the carpet. Shotgun got a little bit away from me, and I AD'd with the muzzle parallel to the ground, pointing toward a target, and got DQ'd. So it was probably the worst match experience for his mental. I was mentally crushed, but I was able to come back, and then I got DQ'd anyway. So it was an all-around loser. It kind of sticks out in my brain there as being a bad experience, but I learned from it. So the AD was toward a target, and our road didn't buy it. But anyway, I had to go home. Pretty sad.
Yeah, now I don't feel so bad. I don't feel so bad myself. I kind of.
We lost Anthony again. He just DQ'd at a match up in one of the Carolinas a couple of weeks ago. It was his first DQ. And the ironic thing is we had a guest the Wednesday before that show, and he was saying, "Oh, I've never DQ'd. I've never DQ'd." And that following weekend, he sure did drop a gun at the beginning of a stage. So it was a learning experience for him as well.
I'm just never going to say that.
Justin, I think you have a few last questions that you wanted to do.
Yeah, I got Facebook's rolling in on questions here. A good buddy of mine and one of my sponsors, Dissident Arms, Lan Win, he wrote in saying, what or if any new developments are you going to be working with Mossberg for the 930 line, or could there be any other cool shotguns? I know I started off with a 930 JM, and now it's all done up a little bit more, but I know I sell a whole bunch of different JMs for entry level 3-gunners. So, any new stuff from Mossberg for you?
I think they're going to have a trigger enhancement, and we're working on a possible modification for the gas system. So I had a chance to visit with some of the engineers. Matter of fact, it was down at Duck Dynasty. We were shooting with Phil Robinson, talking about some of the things that he would like to see on guns, and I brought in some ideas, and we had one of the Mossberg engineers there, so we exchanged some ideas, and I was showing him some modifications I had done to my gun, and it kind of perked his interest. So maybe
Oh, are we lagging?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Jerry, you back?
You lagged out for a second, but
Jerry's
Okay.
lagging a little bit.
So since you're working with the Duck Dynasty boys, and I know you're a good Cajun, is it going to run on sweet tea?
don't leave home without it.
Or maybe a cup holder right here? Instead of a match saver, you got your match saver, and then you got your sweet tea saver.
That's it. You got to have your priorities right.
Exactly.
You guys keep going with those Facebook Live questions as I work out this connection issue.
Alrighty. Just kind of going down the line here. Eric writes in, do you have any advice for a new shooter or above average shooter hoping to advance or to push to the next level?
What you're going to find as a competitor, you're going to only go so far in just basic mechanics, as far as grip and stance and trigger control and what have you. Your next level is going to be vision. You should always be working on your vision techniques, and that's where the true advancements are going to actually occur, is through vision training.
Yeah, is there any before match rituals or something you do? Maybe eat something, any kind of superstitions you have, or before that buzzer when they tell you to make ready? Is there anything that you're playing in your head? Are you visualizing that stage? Any advice there?
Oh, stage prep is constant. You should be able to walk a stage and memorize it. Turn around, you can see it in your brain. Know how many rounds, how many targets. That's standard. That has to be. The best thought in your brain at that moment is not to have a thought. It's just to go visual, especially on the first stage. If you try to make something happen on the first stage, you'll wind up digging a hole so deep you can't dig out of it. So the first stage to me is just survival. I'm gonna shoot it slower than what I would like to, just to try to get the pace for the match, and then try to build off of it, take it from there.
You alluded to, I mean, mechanics can only take you far. I think it becomes down, to the mental game, how well your stage prep is, and how well you can hang in there, throughout the match. You always kind of hear those negative stories from shooters. Oh, well, I can't stand that weekend stuff, or that support side stuff gets me every time. So obviously, what we always recommended the book from Lenny Bassam with Winning in Mind, but how much of the game is really based off of the mental prep and the stage planning of the game? Because obviously you're shooting with the top competitors in 3-Gun Nation, like you mentioned, some of them, Daniel Horner. I mean, you think it just comes down to whoever has the luckiest coin that night wins?
There's a little bit of luck, but you as a competitor are kind of in charge of your luck. If you accept equipment that's not on par, that might run, well, that's how your match is going to be. So the guys who are consistently in the lead, they're there because they do the preparation time, they do the range time, they do the maintenance time, they understand what it takes to make a good performance, and they're going to make it happen on command. It's very hard to make it happen on command. Usually, as a competitor, if I just try to watch it happen, it's going to do a lot better than try to make it happen. So I just kind of go visual and just take it one shot at a time. There's no more important shot than the one you're going to make right now. If you're thinking about the end of the stage, well, guess what? You forgot about the other 27 rounds before you fire your number 28, which stops the clock. So the best shot you got to make is the one you're going to do right now. So it's one shot at a time, one stage at a time. If you think of anything else, you're gonna put a burden on yourself that you just can't handle. So just gotta take it shot at a time. That easy, that hard.
There it is. Great advice. Kelly, you've been a little bit of quiet. Is there anything you have on your side?
Well, I'm trying to hear in between the robot voices.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, we talked about earlier how, you were talking about this reality show and all this stuff. You guys go from match to match in this awesome little RV. How is it driving around in the RV? Because it's you and Kay and Lena and Brock, and what is it? Is that going to be part of your show?
It probably will be. The convenience of an RV is kind of a new thing for us. There's so much equipment that it's good to have it all in one spot. Now I can carry enough spare parts and extra guns and junk, that you couldn't do when you fly to an actual event. So it's a good thing for me. I can have what I need at the time. If I want to get away, go put the AC on for a minute and just get away from everybody and just relax, we can do that also. So it's good. It's good and bad. I'm enjoying it. So we get to know each other really good when you travel. You get to annoy one another and see where we are in the pecking order and all that stuff,
So is it going to be called On the Road with Jerry?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I might put a new meaning to the word thrown under the RV instead of under the bus. So.
Just don't piss the girls off. That's probably my best advice.
That's it. See, that's a wise man right there.
I'm still learning
I
that.
have two girls.
I got to learn that faster because it's killing me. But let's jump into the lightning round. I got a couple lightning round. We had a couple good ones come in last minute from Schwell and Dustin.
Until Anthony starts talking again. First lightning round question is, in your sweet tea, do you like lemon flavored or honey? Which one do you prefer?
Just sugar. No lemon, no honey. Just a little bit of sugar in it. That's all you need.
And when you say a little bit, we're talking like a cup or a pint? Like
half a cup, man. Half a cup to a pitcher. It's good for your blood sugar. Get your finger going, man. It's just good stuff.
Yeah, you got to be on the hummingbird level. That's the next training regimen.
Yeah. Round question off without an interruption here.
Right. There you go.
It's hard to beat that sweet tea question, but if the zombies are outside your window and you have a pistol, rifle, and shotgun right in front of you,
which one are you grabbing? The pistol, the rifle, or the shotgun?
Always go for the rifle. Always go for the rifle.
Going for rifle.
That seems to be the common answer.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty common. Also, we have Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris get into a fight. This is always a famous lightning round question. Who do you have winning in that street fight in their prime, Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris?
Now you're asking a lot of personal favorites there. I'd have to go with Chuck Norris. He's a good guy. I don't know anything about Bruce Lee except the little bit I saw him in the movie. So.
Yeah, that one's kind of 50-50. It's like whoever's the bigger fan of the other usually goes with that one.
You picked the right answer. Right answer.
There you have it. Is it if you can only shoot one caliber? Is it the 9 or 40? You only have those choices.
I'd go with the 9. Feel good about it.
Yeah,
Sure, Jerry's a 38 super guy since he's a revolver man.
Well, we got the new 9mm revolver now, you see, so that's even better.
You guys want to add into that lightning round because this one was a short one.
What would you be doing if you weren't a competitive shooter professionally? What would your profession be if you weren't a competitive shooter?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I was a machinist. I was a multi-pro guy, fixed it, So I was a certified welder. I was a machinist. I was a sheet metal jockey. I did everything. So I'd probably be a mechanic.
There you have it. We got a couple more. I know, man. I'm beating myself up here because my connections is so horrible. But we got so many viewers in here, and between I don't know, maybe I just need to call AT&T and throw the modem out the window. But we have.
It's not just you, Anthony. It's not just you.
It's not just me on this one.
No.
Okay, I don't feel so bad. We got Vision. Was asking about vision training and how does one train the vision? Is it some Jedi mind trick? He's asking.
It's the iced tea.
Yeah, it's all in the tea. I think Jerry.
What about the sweet tea? The hummingbird level, man. Your eyes.
Well,
that's my steady hand.
I can give.
Go for it, Jerry. You with us, Jerry? Yeah, he's kind of in and out. I just think it's a ton of viewers, man, and all of us being in here. It could be my connection, but as we're kind of having an all-around lag, it's kind of terrible to go through, man. Because we have Jerry on, man. We need to get every little thing he's saying on here. But you guys are coming strong with the live questions. I'm gonna apologize in advance if I don't get to those as we try to work Jerry back in here. But the giveaway here, because we got an hour until the giveaway ends, we're going to have a nice Vortex Strike-Fire optic going out, and thanks to the folks at Vortex going out to a winner. We're going to have 3 winners. We have the Miculek Compensators for the AR-15 rifle. We also have the Practical Rifle DVD set. We have 2 of those going out. We also have the folks at TacticalLife.net is doing a T-shirt and a Shore Grips package for a winner. So the giveaway link is in the description, in the comment section box below this video. Let's see if we can get a fresh link to the giveaway in the comment section. And you can also follow us on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page, where there'll be a link for you to enter as well. Let's see if we can hopefully get Jerry in here. You guys have an hour left on that giveaway. There he is. He'll probably pop back in here because we got a good question here from Ken Fusco and Jeff Hyde.
And for those that are watching, don't forget to check out Miculek.com, Jerry's Facebook page, as well as his YouTube page. If you search Jerry Miculek on YouTube, you'll come up with his channel. And a lot of the questions that have been asked in the chat are answered on his channel. He has videos that specifically answer a lot of these questions, especially the things on concealed carry. That has been a main focus on his channel as of late.
He went inside.
I'm back.
We
You guys there?
Yep, we gained to Jerry and lost in Anthony. I think that was a fair trade.
Okay.
Didn't Kay tell you to go inside earlier anyway?
Yep, I should have listened.
Yeah. The girls, man, the girls get you every time. That's why we have one on the panel, just so that she can keep us boys in line.
So I can just tell you after the fact that you should have done whatever she said.
Yeah, that's why I just put up the hands and like, I'm just shooting guns today. All right, we can knock out some more questions here for you, Jerry.
Okay.
On Facebook, I have a few here. From Travis on Facebook? What's an effective way to train if you don't have the finances to support a massive amount of ammunition or range time? And say you have to travel half hour to a range. So what's some tips and tricks if you don't have 1,000 rounds and a range in your backyard like I know you do?
The dry fire routine, you'd be surprised how well you can train. There's a guy from Ecuador, revolver shooter. Give you an idea what he puts up with. Primers down there are like $150 a thousand. Powders over $100 a thousand. And he's a world-class revolver shooter. Dry fires constantly and just sets up little mock stages and runs through them and just dry fire. So it's extremely tedious and boring to some extent, but you're doing the same thing. And one thing about a revolver, guys, you don't actually have to fire it to get anything out of it. So some of my best training was with dummy ammunition and just doing reload drills and strong hand, weak hand drills. So you don't actually have to be on a range. It's kind of a luxury to be on a range, but it's not a necessity unless you need to really go out and then function fire your pistol, of course, and then. But dry fire, guys, dry fire.
How do you feel about like the laser, like the CERT training pistols from like next level training or any of those kind of those tools, either the inserts or the actual full-on frame pistols that are used like lasers?
That's another asset that's available just here recently. I see no reason for it not to be really good, especially for learning how to actually point your firearm relatively quick out of the holster. It'll give you a lot of feedback without actually firing the shot. So all that is good. It's all good stuff.
Nice. Sure.
Excellent.
Well, you want to hit one on
I got
YouTube?
a question. Oh. You guys with me here? You guys hearing me?
Yep. No, Andy's back. And he's gone. Shwell, go ahead and hit one on YouTube real fast.
Well, I'm a father. I have 3 daughters. How does it feel to have your daughter following in your footsteps and competing at such a high level and being so good at it? I mean, she's outstanding.
Well, of course, I'm extremely proud of it. I had no idea she was going to even pursue this avenue. When she was young, we introduced her to firearms, of course, as a safety aspect. There are guns everywhere. So she had to be a good gun handler from a very early age and know how to be around them and how to respect them. So that was pretty much mandatory. But her decision to be a shooter is strictly her own. And I was really surprised that she latched onto it as hard as she did, as fast. And to me, as a trainer, I've been around a lot of people. I try to give them vision techniques. I try to give them quality range instruction. But really, when I talk to Lena, she sees exactly through my eyes, which is very spooky. I can tell her vision skill, and she can execute it within moments. She has cut 20 years off of her practice time in about an hour, which, we talked earlier about vision skills. I can relate to her my experiences, and she can feed off of it, and it's just amazing how fast she can see exactly what I've done through my 30 years of experience, and she's learned it in just a matter of just a few years. So I'm really proud of that. So
that's awesome. Steve on Facebook, I think it's a blasphemy question, but here, when will Jerry ever retire from competition shooting, and what will he do when he no longer competes? Now, could you be a coach? Would that be a full-time coach? Could we see the competition world moving into more of the mainstream, where with the top-level competitors now become the top-level coaches?
that's always a possibility. Of course, the top-level competitors now are also the top-level trainers, for the military and law enforcement guys. But as the civilian population, I think what you're trying to say, is it more of a professional game? Becomes more of a money sport?
Yeah.
And if people are willing to pay for expertise, it could be a coaching career probably. I've had some other offers to do different things. I know Smith & Wesson is kind of excited about a different venue for me. I'm not excited about it. I've got a few more years left behind the trigger, so I'm going to shoot probably as long as I can. I'm a kind of guy that has to do something constantly, so shooting is kind of a way for me to vent myself, I guess.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill my take off my camera. It'll help with the connection here, and hopefully it'll go through. You guys aren't here to see me. You guys are here to see Kelly and Jerry anyway. So so no need to have my camera going. But I wanted to get this one live question out from Ken Fusco. Jerry, what was your most memorable competition win. So is there any one that really sticks out?
Yeah, 1996, the American Handgunner. It was the first year I won it. I shot against Jethro from the Philippines in the finals, and I bested him in the best out of 7 for the shoot-off win. But for me, what I was really proud of as a competitor, I won everything there except the pump shotgun. So I had actually the 22 rimfire pistol, the rifle, the lever action, the semi-automatic shotgun, the bolt action rifle, the semi-automatic rifle side matches, all the revolver side matches, all the revolver titles. So the only thing I didn't win was the pump shotgun. So to me, it was a total victory. When I walked off the range, I pretty much took everything with me. So it was a good experience. So it was a good year.
There you have it, guys. We'll take a couple more live questions here. We're reaching the end of episode 48 here, so let's take a couple more. Dustin, Kelly, do you have anything on your end you want to talk about?
Yeah, just something silly. You know, everybody's seen the pictures of your gun room, which you were in earlier. If you had to wipe all of them out and only keep one that you have, what would it be?
One gun? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
yep.
That's a hard one.
One gun? I can't even think in that dimension. It just warps my brain.
Come on, Kelly. Come on, Kelly.
I guess it would have.
I'm here to ask the tough questions.
I guess it would have to be a 627 revolver.
There it is, man. That's saying a lot too. There.
So that's the one you're like the house is burning down. That's the one you're throwing out the window first.
Probably so. You can do a lot with it. So.
There you go. And you have multiple products that you endorse. I mean, you have your hoe grips, your shotguns. You know, is there any new line of Miculek products that are coming this year or coming up soon?
We've teamed up with a gun oil company, Italian gun oil, and Italian gun grease, I should say. And they make a lot of different gun oil and cleaning products. Really some neat stuff. Everything he makes works extremely well. So that's going to be something new coming out here in just a few weeks.
There you have it. You guys want to run it down to shout-outs, or you guys have any last-minute live questions you guys want to hit on?
I'm good. I have nothing new coming in.
Dustin, you good?
Yeah. I think we hit a lot of them. Everything else is, guys, really check out Jerry's Facebook page. Check out his YouTube page. A lot of the questions that you're asking are going to be answered right there. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. So Jerry, as far as shout-outs, I mean, you know, a lot of companies back you, and you've been a long supporter of a lot of the companies yourself. Just give a rundown of shout-outs that you would like to get off here.
As in products?
Or people who sponsors, people who support you.
Well, of course, Smith & Wesson. We got Hornady. We've got Vortex Optics. And Vortex Optics, guys, what I really enjoy about these guys, it's a family-owned business. So when I get to work with them, it's been a huge pleasure to be associated with them. They're up and coming company, so it's been really good. Of course, we got Hogue Grips. I've been shooting their products forever. Mossberg is a new one for me. They came along just a couple of years ago with their 930 shotgun. We have Magnaport. We've got Cheaper Than Dirt. Of course, Cheaper Than Dirt has been a huge sponsor here just for the last couple of years. Michael Tenney there has really been above and beyond the call of duty for us, and it's been a great experience working with those guys. And recently we picked up Fiocchi Shot Shell, so looking forward to shooting their products.
Actually, remember those sponsors. I know. What is it? Freedom Munitions. You guys got a couple. I mean, there's probably you probably got Brock in the background with like a teleprompter with all the the support you guys get. I can see him back there. I know he's there trying to help you out there. Kelly, what do you have on your end as sponsors and shout-outs?
Oh my god, I always get flustered at this part. I should write these things down, right? Since I'm not wearing my race car shirt like Dustin. Voodoo Tactical and X-Rail, which I have to say, Jerry, when I go to SHOT with Mark Roth and the guys from X-Rail, the video that they run of you shooting, the 26-round X-Rail, that is always something that people will stop and just stare at, and then wait until the whole video runs and watch it again. They love it, and it's amazing to hear it. I think they just wait for your reaction at the end. They're waiting for you to say something, and all you go is, "Whoo!" and they just love it. That's one of the best things, to just watch the people eyes lit up, like, who is this man? Because a lot of them are foreigners, and they don't know what this contraption is, and they see you shoot it, and it's just crazy to see. Frog Lube, Lean Tech USA, which is coming out with some amazing things. Yeah, really, really quick. They need to hurry up and bring it out because they're teasing me with it, and it's awful. So, TacCom and CompTac, Made Knives, Notch Gear, which I'm not wearing a hat tonight, but Notch Gear, and Animal Customs for awesome jerseys.
Go ahead, Steve. Let them rip.
All right, I am wearing my race car jersey. Thanks to always Springfield Armory, Black Rain Ordnance, Animal Customs, AP Customs. My new guy is 511, so we're doing that. And another new guys is X Products Drums. So there's going to be some cool new stuff coming out with those guys. Distant Arms for my shotgun, who took my great 930 JM and tweaked it a little bit more for me. Put a nice little X-rail on it from Mr. Mark. Pro Ears, BBI, Tula, Red Roof Inn, CompTech, Patriot Supply USA, Scaz Photography, Shooter Ready USA. Also, if you guys are in the Missouri or St. Louis area and you want to shoot some full autos or get some training work, I will be at Eagle Eye USA Range now. So check those guys out, or hit me up on my Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, and we'll take care of you.
There you go, Schwell. What do you have on your end? Jesus, I swear, Dustin's list gets longer and longer.
You need to stop putting me last and let me go before Kelly, Dustin, and the special guest, because my list is nothing like you guys and your NASCAR shirts and all of this stuff. I can't compete. So I'm going to shout out my wife for giving me all the great support that she always gives me, Team Miculek for being such a great inspiration in the shooting community, Combat Shooting Sports, thegearlocker.net, Silencer Co., Teal Blue Bravo, and Special Ops Tactical. Those are the companies I'm running with this week.
There you go. And I know you're big with the Wolf Ammunition as well over there, Schwell. I think you got, so what do you got, you said you were testing out that new brake from Silencer Co., right? You got
I have the new MAD setup from Silencer Co. I also have a 6.5 Grendel that I'm testing for Wolf. They have their new steel ammunition in 6.5 Grendel hitting the market soon, and I have a bunch of that I'm testing right now. Good times.
So go subscribe to YouTube. His channel will pop up, and check out all the interesting stuff he's got going over there. On my end, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Subscribe to the channel every Wednesday at 9. We have a new high fly guest, a new show, a new giveaway. So be sure to subscribe. I'm also going to give a shout out to TacticalLife.net for always supporting the show and being a big time contributor. I'm going to do definitely Jerry Miculek and Miculek.com. Go check out the website as well. You can also, if you're not lucky enough to win this giveaway, with the CompuSators and the DVDs, they are available for purchase on Jerry's website, so you guys can just go ahead and pick those up. Nate Square Tactical, Blade Tech Industries, Rand CLP, and I'm going to give a shout out to Vortex Optics, the generous folks over there. It's awesome that companies are supporting this show and supporting us as shooters as well as Jerry. So that's what I have here. This will conclude episode 48. Man, Jerry, it was a real honor talking with you. I look forward to the story up because I was so laggy. But SHOT Show 2014, I'm not going to even go into it. We'll save that story for another day. It was a fun story with Jerry and the whole family. But that'll do it, guys. Thanks for all the live questions and the viewership, and we are out.
Thank you, guys.